Hey there, sports fans. Ribbo with Craig for behalf of Caravel Gaming. Hello, Craig.
Good morning, just about, I believe. Just in a minute, it'll be morning.
It's shocking, that, isn't it?
Yes.
Literally a minute. Anyway, I know. Speaking of literally, quite literally, 3 people have asked us to have a look at the new set. So
Woo!
let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go from the point of view of Patron Warrior being the best deck. I think that's a fair assumption.
It is
So
certainly at the moment.
when you look at all the cards that are being released, you've got to go, and will that help it beat Patron Warrior? And if the answer is no, then it doesn't matter what the card does. Because you're still going to lose to Patron Warrior.
And you would hope somewhere along the lines, given its dominance right now, they'd have squeaked in a few that would change
Oh,
the meta.
indeed. I mean, our opinions may change should the meta change. However, all of that considered, we're going to have a look at the legendaries first, guy. I think if you need to crack packs, you're looking to do that to get a legendary. Because,
Yeah.
if you just want a few commons and rares and stuff, you've got dust.
Yeah.
Just carry on playing arena and dust your stuff and get what you want. So, Druid, Aviana, crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't need to talk about that anymore. Dread Scale, actually not bad if you're doing a control hunter deck. Kind of enables Patron Warrior on the sad side, but
Yeah.
yeah. But the thing is, if Patron Warrior already has a warrior, his guy's out, you're already dead, so it doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah, I guess at least it's the end of your
Yeah,
turn, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah. Acid Maw.
But even so, like I said, given a nice in combination, too expensive.
Yeah. Acid Maw is like the 10 mana combo between Dreadscale and Acid Maw, because they both come down and everything else dies. I mean, that
Yeah.
was the flavour behind the 2 cards, wasn't it? Because that was the
Yeah.
fight, in
Yeah.
essence.
This
You
is
know,
it
so
from
Dreadscale
rounds.
doesn't kill himself, because he doesn't target himself. It's all other minions, and Acid Maw kills all other minions that get dealt damage. So the two of them get on quite well together and just have a
Yeah.
hug. They hug it out while everyone else dies
Yeah.
around them. However, it's 10 mana, and they're both 4/2s, so, whatever.
Yeah. One assumes the aggro battle's been lost by that point.
yeah. So Ronin, obviously ridiculously cool.
Very nice.
It's like 8 mana for 7/7, which is okay. It's probably like 2 mana overcosted, but you get 9 damage when it dies.
I'm sure there's a few spell interactions going on in various locations.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have cards that do more spell damage, and you're gonna have cards that summon fireballs when you do spells.
Yeah.
And so Ronin's obviously really cool. Edric the Pure, arena card. I think that's where it starts and ends, really.
Yeah.
Because if you're playing it in constructed, your opponent's just gonna go, well, I've got you down to 13 life. I'm just gonna beat you up with my 4 guys with 1 power.
Yeah.
It's like that. He's gonna go, that's nice. A 3/7 for 7. I'm scared. Oh wait,
Yeah.
no, I'm not.
Yeah, again, like I said, it's just arriving to the party too late against aggro and control goes. Great, you made my 2 guys 1 power. They've all still got big bodies and taunts.
So probably should have been.
But
6
amazing
mana.
in arena, to be
Yeah,
fair.
I think it should have been maybe 6 mana. I think it's
Yeah.
just like you said, late to the party at 7 mana. You don't care, and your opponent doesn't care either. It's even possibly too slow against handlock. I don't know. Anyway, Confessor Peltris, pretty cool for 9 mana, I think, because it clearly isn't 7 mana.
Yeah.
It's clearly 9 mana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 9 mana, make a 5/4, and get another legend at random.
And thankfully, obviously, the legends being a bit on the top end, your odds, admittedly, of getting a 1/1 that draws a card are slim. They're possible, but slim.
I've had a few Sneed's old shudders in my time, and Lord Walker Joe has popped out on a couple of occasions.
Or your favourite fisherman.
Yeah, it's sad times. But there is the slightest of slightest chance that Confessor Peltris will survive a turn. In which case it becomes ridiculous, especially if you're running it in, say, Mech Priest, and you're like, give my guy stealth.
Yeah.
10 mana, make this for 7, give him stealth, and inspire. And then next turn, inspire again.
Yeah.
And that pretty much ends the game, right? If it sticks to turn.
Yeah.
So.
I guess, like I said, it's a win-more card, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think it's alright, actually. You know, I don't have a big problem with that one. Anubarak.
I do like it, to be fair, though, but again,
cool
in what you're playing it with, in your typical rogue deck now.
Yeah. Rogue doesn't do control, so therefore, pointless card.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it can be dealt with in the short term. That's the problem, isn't it? Yeah, deal with it in the short term, carry on going to your face, and you're dead.
Yep. Mist Caller, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Give all minions in your hand deck, well, +1/+1. Obviously, sucks if it's the last card in your deck.
But yeah, but it's a nice, interesting interaction, though, isn't it? At the end of the day, in terms of...
But the thing is, making sure you get it off turn 6 with your overload. It's like, you on this turn 6. Stuff that won't be happening turn 5. Fights with a few things on turn 6 as well. It's like your fire elemental. You're like, I really want to play my fire elemental.
That's the problem. And even on turn 6, it dies to a few 3 drops and most 4 drops, unfortunately. So it's
that's fine. Because all minions in your hand and deck have got +1. And all of a sudden, ridiculous things are coming out for not much mana.
It's just your board state thing, isn't it? And then if you're already behind, you're in effect you drop a turn behind, don't you? And that's the question is at that point
you can definitely win it back. I mean, if your then next turn is like making a Zor Drake, it's like 5 mana for a 5/5 with spell power.
Yes, it does. The problem, I mean, the Shaman decks tend to be pretty quick, don't they? And I'm just thinking when the point at which you drop 6, because they've got a lot of fantastic 4 drops, and you go.
There's
6.
the Murloc version, which just makes all your Murlocs super beefy when you play it. So it feels like you rage at them, and then if they survive your early rush, you play this, and then all of a sudden,
your other guys
your Murlocs can survive.
And I guess you go Neptune. All my little hand of Murlocs are actually quite reasonable.
Yeah, so I think there's a place for it.
I mean, I don't go. It's interesting, and
I think it's in a control deck. It's a place for it, though. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, Wilfred Fizzlebang, 8 mana for a 4/4, and you draw a card, and it's free. It's not 6 mana.
No.
So this will just go into handlock decks, really.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, free giant, that's cool.
And presumably you can just leave it hanging around in your hand for as long as you want, and then dump a few as and when you required.
Yeah, you might even, if you get really lucky, stick him behind a taunt.
Yeah.
Like, potentially, you can make him, and then the card you draw is like a Defender of Argus, and you go, stick it behind my giant. And if it survives a turn, we just romping home to victory at that point.
Yeah.
Varian Rin, ridiculous.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's obviously really good. I mean, you're going to play it in Control Warrior. You're just going to have lots of big guys, as you always do. And you're drawing 3 cards. One of them is going to be a big guy. I mean, let's just do this. Let's look at my stupid, heavy Control Warrior deck. And let's just, count the guys. So, we've got, Ysera, Alexstrasza, Ragnaros, Gromash, Dr. Boom. It's like, okay, it sucks, right? You don't get a couple of bombs. It's still a 7/7 for free.
Yeah.
You got a Sylvanas, you got 2 Shield Maidens. Yeah, it sucks. You don't get 5 mana, but it's still a 5/5.
Yeah. For free.
Emperor Thorisin, which is obviously got 2 Sludge Belchers. So all of those seem fine, and you're going to draw at least one of them because there's 10 really fat cards.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of that. So, yeah. And people are like, yeah, but you don't want your Alexstrasza to come in for play. You don't want to come into playability. I'm like, I've just paid 10 mana and got an 8/8 and a 7/7.
And there's going to be RNGs, but let's be honest, it's like you said there, exactly that, which is you're getting at least 14 power of guys, most likely, for
and
10
I might
mana.
get a Sludge Belcher as well. And, by the way, you are also drawing 3 cards. So it's like, you've also drawn a Death
Even
Spite
if you can't play them, they're still in your hand.
So, yeah. What is not to love about that? So, let's go on to the neutrals. Idis, Darkbane, which is going to replace Dark Cultist in most priest decks
Yeah.
in the 3 slot, because you get to give it +0/+2 and shoot somebody or him for 3.
That's it. Silly shenanigans, isn't it? And just the cost is it's just a nice minion at 3/4 for 3. And then you whack that on top, and it's random, but you only have to get lucky once, and you're like, okay, I'm a head-on card advantage.
So you're going to have your 2 power shields and your 2 Velen's Chosens, and he's going to do like potentially 9 damage late in the game. Because the thing is, like, late in the game it's cool, as opposed to Fiola Lightbane, who sucks late in the game.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to save spells for Fiola, because you're going to be like, oh, turn 9, make this, and give it +0/+2, and then go, that's nice, dear. Hit you for 14.
Yeah.
With my...
And early in the game, anyway, any card of that size is generally trading for anything else. You know, if you power word shield or chosen up it, then it's still going to kill whatever it hits, regardless of divine shield.
Whereas with Idis, you make it turn 9, you put a couple of spells on it, it deals 6 damage to your opponent's face because he's got nothing in play, and that puts a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
Gormok the Impaler, Shammy's going to love him. Pally's going to be like, muster for battle. 4 for a 4/4, and you get to pick where that 4 damage goes. That is the important thing.
Yeah.
It's not random like all of the other damn cards that say deal 4 damage when it comes into play. This goes you. So that makes it really good. So in aggro decks, this is just gonna fly into all those decks. Especially, like I said, Pally and Murloc and, you know, Chamois in general, and Warlock. Yeah, Zoo decks is going to go giddy.
Yeah.
Stick down Gormok, laugh. So, yeah, no problems with that. Nexus champion Serad, 5 for a 4/5, which is okay, a little bit under the curve. You can get like a 5/6 for 5 in the neutrals. Inspire, add a random spell to your hand. Some of those spells are game breaking. It is random, but again, it's just another control card.
Yeah. Reasonable, yeah. And it's always that thing. Do you end up getting a deadly poison, or do you end up, or do you end up, getting something?
Yeah, so it's
a spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an arena pick, and it might be in some kind of weird control deck, but I can't really. It doesn't offer immediate value for 7 mana, because it's just a 4/5. It doesn't impact the board. It's like you draw the card, but then you can't do anything with it, and then your opponent gets to kill you the following turn. Bolf Ram Shield basically is healing touch. It's just gain 9 life. That's all it is for 6 mana.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to attack Bolf, because they're going to like, if I want to deal 5 damage, I'll just go to your face.
Yeah, and then not take the 3 damage back.
Yeah, exactly. So, on the plus side, it's really good if you've got a Bolf out who's a 3/1 and he's got a 20/20. Because I'm assuming that 20 damage goes to him at that point.
I guess, I wonder, presumably, any excess damages just all hits him and then is, fades away.
Just a card, True Heart. We're going to see, I think, a fair amount. I think a lot of people will play this card. It looks good and it seems cool. You're basically paying 6 mana. You're ignoring his stats because you don't care about that. No. But you're just going, okay, I'm going to make it 2 Pallies a turn. I'm going to finally pick what Chamois totem I get every turn, which is obviously ridiculously important because you can go taunt totem, taunt totem, taunt totem.
Yeah.
Hold yourself off against certain decks. So, he's really cool. Mage, shooting stuff for 2, seems okay.
Yeah.
Warlock not taking damage from tapping. That's is good and bad sides to that.
Yeah, it seems the lesser powered ones, in terms of the position they're in, whether they're almost already dead or not. But it's not really. Like I said, there's a doubling power of a lot of them, whereas that's kind of okay. You got less of the downside, but by this point in time, anyway, the board's established.
Skeleton Knight, complete crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chillmore, actually pretty cool. I think in Dragon deck, Dragon Control, it's like, yep, this is going to clear the board after my opponent's been fighting into it.
Yeah.
So I actually quite like that. I think it's a useful card. You know,
That's it.
you're obviously never going to play it when you're ahead.
Yeah.
Kill your own guys. Novelty pirate card, Sky Captain Crag.
Yeah, not really. Yeah. Never mind. They tried.
Eventually they'll make pirates really good. I think that's the plan. Is like to release 10 sets, and then at the end of 10 set, someone will go, "Wait a minute, pirates are really good."
Yeah.
But they're just going to release one card in every single set that makes that. Ice Owl, obviously crap.
Yep.
So, okay. So that's all legendaries out of the way. We're gonna bag them off. And have a look at just the general commons and see whether anything else tickles your fancy. So, did you see anything from Druid? Any Druid cards that you stuck out? We liked Wild Walker.
We did.
More maybe for Arena than anything else, but
yeah. It was just a nicely costed card, wasn't it? With a nice little tweak in there, and with a few of the other Druids, when they choose a form, being a beast, it's like it's that case of okay, I've got my 4/6 taunt, well, it's now 4/9 taunt. It's
Darnassus Aspirant, obviously pretty ridiculous turn 2.
Yeah.
Because you play it and you go, you're gonna kill it. In which case, I'll drop a big guy for 4 mana. I'll drop a big guy for 5 mana, and that's it. Because they drop a big guy for 4 mana, and all of a sudden, like, well, I can't play a guy now for 3 mana that's going to kill his 2/3.
Yeah.
So in Arena, if you go like first and you get the Aspirant out turn 2, it's like you just steamroller at that point if they don't kill it immediately.
And always being the class with plenty of taunts, it's okay, so I can speed up getting a taunt out. Right, you're not getting to my 2/3. And I think there was some talk about, obviously, if you play it at 10 mana, it'll generate excess mana as well, so you'll get to draw a card on top of that anyway.
Which is cool.
Yep.
But that's about it for Druid.
Yeah.
People are more than happy to say, how could you not talk about this? Savage Combatant, for a 5/4, which is a cool ability, and the Inspire, the 3 damage. So you play it turn 4, and if they don't kill it, then you start beating the crap out of things.
Yeah.
So in the Hunter stuff, let's look at the bad cards like Bear Trap. It's like, not going to see any play. It's like it's a 3/3 for taunt with 2. So your opponent, if you can't deal with the 3/3, isn't going to attack with these 1/1 into your trap, really.
Yeah.
Lock and Load, obviously insane, but it's a control card, so you're going to need like 8-9 mana, and you're going to have about 4 spells, so it's whether you can afford to hold on to all those cards.
Well, listen, you either have a deck designed around it or not, isn't it? And
King's Elect, it's just 2 for a 3/2 that might get lucky and draw you a card, which is okay. You're gonna take a lot of them in Arena.
Yeah, it's a beast, but Hunter
it's a beast, which is important. Good interaction. Dreadscale is cool. Power Shot's also cool.
It's a nice
Arena,
amount. Yeah, a nice amount of output for the cost, isn't it? At the end of the day, but
Dreadscale, again, it's kind of mid-range control. Just trying to fight against the hordes of little guys. Take away all their divine shields and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stable Master also seems cool. Again, it's like their version of the Bubble Dude for Paladins.
Yeah.
So it's like, this guy's immune this turn, and trade him off.
Yeah. Nice tempo card, ultimately.
Yep. So again, Arena card, you're going to go, ooh, that's nice. Ball of Spiders, I actually quite like. You don't.
We chat about this, but I can see the uses. To me, we're going away, or they're trying to get away from this whole face hunter, cheap hunter, mid-level hunter, top-end hunter control kind of, and they're obviously trying to guide people towards that goal and make the game a bit longer. And maybe that'll do it. I don't know.
Yep, but I actually think it could see some play. You know, I'm not massively against it like some people are. Mage, Fallen Hero, might well see some play. Yeah, you know. Even in constructed, like 2 damage is like significant.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sort of 3/2s in the game and stuff like that. So you just get to play it and finish something off, and then they kill it the following turn. But it's done its job by then. You know, it's traded card for card, and then you've got another card from killing whatever it is you wanted to deal 2 damage to.
Yeah.
Effigy feels ridiculous. Like, it's everything that Duplicate should have been. The thing about Duplicate was the cards came back to your hand. And this puts it back into play. So, if you're playing, like, Mage Giants...
Yeah.
And they have to kill your 8-drop, you've got to get rid of it, and then you get another one. So, and it's into play, it's immediate, and then it's your go. Oh look, because they've just killed it, and you're putting pressure on them. So, like, it gives more board position, which is what you want.
There's always that element of random, isn't there?
It's not so hot when your opponent polymorphs something and then pings it. Like, that sucks. Oh, my sheep's back. Fantastic. Just what I wanted. But, you know, you don't play effigy. In the early game, you know, unless you get... I mean, like, you can play it for free when, you know, you make a 4/3 on turn 3 and go, oh, I put a free secret into play, and they kill the 4/3 and it immediately comes back into action. And you're like, yep. Bet you found that annoying.
Yeah.
And it's your go again, and you're beating them up for 4. So I think in, like, aggro decks, it's really cool.
Yeah, I was saying more in the aggro the control, because I think in the control I was thinking I'd rather have the 2 than the 1. But like I say, in aggro, I'd rather have the board position, have the 1 back.
Yeah, so you make the 4/3, they kill it, and you get back some random 3-drop, which could be like a, you know, it could be a Harvest Golem.
Yeah.
Or it could be like a, you know, an Arcane Golem. There's lots of really annoying 3-drops. Could be a 4/4 for 3 mana, you know.
This is true.
Polymorph Boar, obviously pretty damn good. Because you need more polymorphs in the game, because there's so many cards you want to get rid of.
Clearly, we needed polymorph penguin. There was a
Might
niche
turn
there.
out eventually. Because the first thing is, like, if you're getting close to lethal on someone in an aggro deck, you know, you got them down to 10, you're like, hit you for 3, polymorph my own guy, hit you for another 4, and then, of course, you can use it defensively to get rid of their taunts, polymorph your guy out of the way, so I can carry on hitting you.
Also, we kind of forget, isn't it, the other aspect of, although it is a 4/2, but the other aspect of a polymorph is, in effect, the silence aspect. And there are an awful lot of awkward cards, aren't there, that come back in one shape or other again. Well, yeah, 4/2's paying the bump, but it's a lot less of a problem than
stuff you want to silence in the new set as well as everything else. So I really like Polymorph Boar. I think it's great in aggressive decks, and it's still okay in control decks as an extra polymorph.
And if your effigy ends up giving you, you know, a Goldsha Footman, you've got a 4/2 Boar.
Spellslinger, okay for arena.
Yeah.
Not going to say any constructed play, but there you go. Neither of any of those. Coldar Drake might very well see some play.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a dragon, so there might be a dragon mage deck, but I kind of figure if it sticks around for a turn, he's your best friend.
Yeah. I think it's all around solid, isn't it? In terms of the dragon, in terms of just the sheer body and the ability is, if it's there for more than a turn, you're just dominating the board.
Yeah, because the following turn you might get to go Fallen Hero that you're playing in the same deck, obviously, and then you're going shoot for 2, shoot for 2. Seems okay, and then obviously Ronin, which talks about who's ridiculous. Pally. Competitive spirit? No. Crap. I mean, only ever useful in muster for battle. Seal of Champions, it's okay.
Yeah.
Useful, I think, very good arena card. You know, you've got a 2/2, you get to take out the 5/2 and still keep your 2/2 alive.
Yeah.
What's not to love about that? Warhorse Trainer, just a bad card.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a raid leader that only does Silverhand recruits. And nobody plays raid leader.
No. And like I said, exactly that. At that point, you're still busy trying to fill the board.
Yeah. Murloc Knight, which I actually really like. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's fun. 6 mana for a 3/4 and a random Murloc.
I think it's the Inspire that just perhaps redeems it, because they said the Murlocs are random. We can end up with 1/1s, and we can end up with charges, and
And if you get the Murloc King, and you get your full mana for your 3/4, you get a 3/3 on the side, turns your 3/4 into a 5/5.
Yeah,
It's like, man, that's good value for
That's
4
what a lot
mana.
of
4
people
mana for a
forget
5/5 and a 3/3. Yeah, I'll have some of that.
that's it. But you know what could happen? Hungry Crab could see some serious play.
Tusker Jouster. I think there is a control pally deck. Well, there's always a control pally deck when I exist.
Yeah.
Which basically, like, your drops from 1 to 4 are like possibly a muster for battle. The old Peacekeepers possibly is your only minion under 4.
Yeah.
And then you have your weapons. You have your True Silvers. You maybe have like a Blessing of Kings to go with your muster for battles previous turn. And then like Tusker Jouster comes out at 5 to get you back in the game against all the aggro players, and then you just have 5 drops and 6 drops. So you just have all those taunts at 5 and 6 and 7 mana. So you have like Sludge Belchers. You have the new taunt at 6 mana.
Yeah.
And you pretty much always win against all the other aggro decks. It's just going to be like, yeah, I'll have a 5/6 taunt for 6. No, I'll have like a Sludge Belcher. I'll have like, I don't know, a Fen Creeper. I'll have big fat taunts and big guys and try and stay in the game until then. I'll have like Consecrated at 4 mana, and True Silver Champions, and all my cheaper stuff, and like maybe 2 Humilities to keep me in the game.
And it just fits in a nice part in the Paladin curve as well, isn't it? As well, just past the 4 part where you can start doing stuff and it gets plonked. There you go. I'll deal with everything before me. I'll keep you in the game, and it's a nice solid body for you.
Then we have Enter the Colosseum, which is terrible.
Yeah.
Because you go, you've got one guy I can't deal with, and this card still can't deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, wonderful.
Great. You've still got the big guy, but thank you for killing all the 1/1s.
Yeah, they go like Doom Guard, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. This card does nothing against 5/7.
Should have been something along the lines of kill everything with a power of 2 or more and just leave the 1/1s.
Yep, that would be a cool card. Yep. Mysterious Challenger, which is actually really cool. I like that. I mean, because you're only ever going to play Avenge.
Mm.
There's no other card you'd have other than Avenge, really, as far as secrets are concerned.
I just feel as though that should have been literally put one of each secret into play.
Yeah, that would have been right. Or put 2 random secrets into play.
Even that would have
been
quite
cool.
acceptable, yeah.
That are not in your deck.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're going to play it, and then Avenge is going to come in for free, and you're going to be like, yeah.
However, of course, you know that before the previous 2 turns, before you actually draw and play it, you will draw
both
Avenge.
Avenges.
Yeah.
Indeed. But even so, like, Avenge is okay in aggro decks.
Yeah.
I think Mysterious Challenger is going to be okay. Edric Pure, we don't need to discuss that anymore. Flash Heal, again, it's a nice card, but it might replace like the 3/3 for 5 mana that a few priests, so you just have that instead. Save a bit of mana, so that you can heal yourself on top of that. Yeah. Looking around and stuff. I think Holy Champion might very well see a little bit of play because it's potentially 5/5 for 4, really.
Yeah.
Especially see a lot of play in Arena where it can get ridiculous. Spawn of Shadows are trying to encourage aggro Priest with Shadow form and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. So I've honestly I've no idea where Priest will be, because obviously Dragon Priest seems cool with the Worm Rest Agent. It's like a 2/4 for 2 with taunt. You will have your Azor Drake or whatever in your hand at that point.
Yeah, and it's just like great. I can deal with everything up till
that's your early wall up.
Yeah.
So I'm interested where Priest is going to end up. I'm not convinced, but I'm not going to discount it either. Then we have Rogue, which is the only class that doesn't get an Inspire card. So really makes me think why You obviously decided something was up there.
I think in effect, because it's already got like the mechanic of the combos, and the idea is already there to be playing more than one effect in a turn to gain a bonus. Kind of, do you feel as though they need Inspire on top of that?
Beneath the Grounds is interesting. I think you'll play it in Arena. It's no immediate effect, but the game drags on a bit. The old random 4/4 every now and again
Yeah.
might turn out to be fun.
I guess if you know well, it depends on how long a game you're going to drag out as a rogue anyway, doesn't it? Yeah.
Shadow Pan Rider, obviously a ridiculous 4-drop.
I agree.
Like coin 5/7. It's like a 6/7. Ugh.
Yes. It's like,
It's like really.
do I have anything to do with it? No.
On turn
Then
4.
that's it. You're trading badly then, aren't you, for a few turns?
Unless you've got humility, keep you in the game.
Yeah.
Shady Dealer. It's 3 mana for a 4/3, which is pretty aggressive. But what can I say about that? And then we got the chamois stuff with just the really ridiculous totem golem.
Yeah. We chat about that, didn't we? And just again, it's just a humongous for that point in the game of just killing, what went before, currently, and then what comes afterwards as well. And okay, who cares about the
like
overload?
In Arena, you're just picking that every time.
Yeah.
You're just like, what are you doing turn 2 that I'm not smashing that guy's facing?
Yeah.
Because you go like Totem Golem, and then the next turn you got like 2 mana, and you might get really lucky and get a healing totem, and then going, and he heals himself up again.
Yeah.
And your opponent cries, and you just get board position and go on to win the game in record time.
Yeah.
Healing Wave, which pretty much kills aggro against Chamois.
Yeah. 14 life. Okay,
14
so that's
life,
another 2 turns. Yeah.
Well, I'll have some of that, says Chamois. Charge Hammer, which is obviously also pretty cool. It's like, feel free to, kill it with your Swampoos, and then I'll shoot your Swampoos for 2.
Yeah.
Drainade Totem Carver, which is basically the fixed version of the neutral minion that already exists for 1 extra mana.
Yeah.
So instead of giving aim +1 for every other minion, it's just +1 for every other totem.
Yeah.
So, but it's costed at 4 mana, which is actually a really important slot for Chamois. A lot of people aren't aware of this, but there's a lot of stuff you want to do with Chamois at 5 mana. And there's a lot of stuff you do at 4 mana that has Overload 1, so you end up with 4 mana the following turn as well.
Yeah.
So there might be a spot for it. There's definitely a spot for it in Arena.
Yeah.
Thunderbluff Valiant, also pretty ridiculous in Arena, and might actually see a fair bit of play outside of it with a few totem decks.
That's just mean all your totems
Aggro
are clear.
totems.
Yeah. What do you mean I can make a 3/1 every turn? Okay.
Then we get on to the Warlock stuff. Demon Fuse, literally the not low.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of complaints about Warlock being underpowered, and I wondered whether, in light of that, whether Warlocks would see a lot of love, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
Wrathguard, again, not that impressive. It's nice, but your opponent goes, oh, so my 3/2 goes to your face and to your minion. How cool is that?
That's it. My 2-drop still kills. Your 2-drop. Thank you very much.
Fist of Jaraxxus. Might see a little bit of play, with all the discard effects that are around. They're really trying to push that.
Yeah.
Dreadsteed. I mean, I like it. I think there's something in there, with your power overwhelmings and stuff. I think you might play one in like your control Warlock, because there'll be times when you go like you'll have like a Hellfire or something, and you'll just need to nibble something to get it into Hellfire range and stuff like that, and then it hangs around afterwards.
Yeah, like what we said, there's lots of interactions, nothing major, but just lots of little interactions. That's quite interesting.
It's nice to have that extra little minion, because I mean, you're throwing down a lot of cards that give taunts to things on either side of you.
Yeah.
Like Defender of Arguses and stuff like that, and there's a lot of times you only get one minion. when you give something taunt because your opponent's killing it, and so it's always going to be hanging around being annoying. Being that second taunt that keeps coming back every turn. Another speed bump. It's like, god damn it.
I guess it annoys paladins, doesn't it? Kill your guy. Kill your guy again. Keep killing it.
Yeah, definitely. And it keeps rogue hero abilities busy, and mage hero abilities. They can't really do anything about it. It's like, there's no point killing it. It's just going to come back.
Yeah.
Dark Bargain. Destroy 2 random enemy minions, which I think that's an easy enough situation to manipulate.
Yeah.
And discard 2 random cards. Well, that goes into probably Zoo.
Yeah, what's it? I have just this. It kills your 2 biggest guys.
Binned my hand off. Kill 2 guys. I literally do not care which 2. Get them off the board. I'm going to carry on beating you up.
Yeah.
So you might see 1 Dark Bargain in Zoo Lock. As oh look, I'm finally at 6 mana. Yeah. Void Crusher, terrible.
Yeah, if only it said destroy a random other minion, then you'd be okay, Dreadsteeds. There you go.
Crusher minion.
Yeah.
I will attack, and now I will use my Void Crusher.
Yeah.
And watch it kill itself. It's like, me?
Yeah, so there we go. 6 mana for a 5/4 suicidal demon.
Bolster, possibly hilarious in arena if you get really lucky with your taunts, but other than that, fairly poor.
Thinking only had been in Druid deck.
Alex Strauss as champion. It's 3 mana for a 3/3 charge. What's not to love if you got?
Very reasonable.
Sparring partner again, really cool for arena.
Yeah. Just more things you've got to wade through.
Yep, 2 more things you have to fight through. Bash seems fine.
Yeah. Solid card, not amazing, but okay, does the job.
Nothing else incredible. Obviously, Varian is incredible, but we've already talked about him. And then we get on to the neutrals. And, most of these you're just going to look at them and go, Garrison Commander, just it's a 2/3, so you're going to pick it up in arena and that's about it.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a particular deck designed around your hero ability, where you're going, my hero now summons 2 1/1s. And then I use it and play him and go, now I've made 4 1/1s, and now I've got my Quartermaster the following turn. Yeah. Now I have 4 3/3. Oh, by the way, I'm going to summon another 2 1/1s. So potentially I've got 6 3/3s, 4 of which can attack this turn, and my guys can mana. So there might be a deck in that. Whether it'll be good enough, I have no idea.
I'll say this is obviously the design intent. Is a lot of these interactions, or like you said, you just get the feeling that it's a bit of a novelty. Whether it sustains enough, and I don't know. There'll be a lot of people that play it and go, "It's amazing," for the first couple of matches.
And then your opponent won't fall for that trickery. Yeah. Thunderstorm going on outside, so that's fun.
That's it.
I'm tempted to... Actually, we're going to have a quick interlude while I go over to the window here, because, Craig, we were saying it's heading up your way soon as well, this thunderstorm. But it sounds really cool out there, so I'm just going to open this window.
Oh, very nice, blimey.
Wow, listen to that. That's going something chronic. So anyway, I was talking to a friend earlier today who's living in Texas, and he's like, it's 34 degrees here. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's raining and blowing a gale and really stormy. And I've got another friend from Spain who's like, it's really hot here as well. And he's extremely jealous of our terrible weather because he hates it when it's hot.
That's it.
So there you go.
Over there recently, and they had a bout of rain, and they're looking up, and the guy's going, it'll be there for about 5 minutes. All right, okay. And anyway, it hung around for 20 minutes, and so all the locals will literally hit the streets. They're all dancing crazy again. It's cool. I'm still there in my t-shirt and shorts, going, "Geez, it's just too hot for any sane person apart from the Spanish."
So we have Silverhand Regent, 3 for 3/3. Someone's a Silverhand recruit when you inspire. So again, that'll go into all
Yeah,
Pally inspire decks. You've got Crowd Favourite, which again is a nice aggro card. Because you're going to play it, and you're going to play Defender of Argus the turn after. It's going to be 6/6 taunt, and and your opponent's going to be like, "You what?"
mm,
And then you're going to make another guy and give it a bubble. And it's going to be 7/7. So I think crowd favourite might go into like the aggro decks a little bit. It's possible because there's a lot of battle cries going on.
yeah, there is certainly now anyway.
Yeah, like I said, because it'll go in with Gormok the Impaler and stuff like that. And it's like,
Yeah, like I said, it's just at the end of the day, it's just a nice, regardless of anything else, it's nicely costed. So everything else is a bonus and a good one.
yeah, because it's going to maybe go into there's a dragon deck as well. With Twilight Guardian, which is obviously always going to be 4 mana for a 3/6 with taunt, which seems really cheap.
Yeah.
Clockwork Knight, gonna go into the mech decks, absolutely, yeah. Give a friendly mech +1/+1, yeah. 5 mana for a 5/5, so that's cool. There's not much going on really in the 5 slots. And then we have stuff like Kodo Rider and Grand Crusader and Recruiter, which people will try and work with, but ultimately might struggle. I mean, you could certainly use Kodo Rider, but 8 mana for a 3/5 and another 3/5, it's like it's only when you get the one the following turn that it becomes ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like once you get multiple Kodo Riders.
Yeah. It's this thing where in principle it looks amazing, but nothing sticks. Nothing sticks for the following turn. And if it
It's the same concept behind Hogger, really.
Yeah.
It's another Hogger. Master Jouster, which I think in control decks is one of the first cards right into the deck there, because your deck's slow and heavy and is always going to hopefully be a 5/6 with Taunt and Revive Shield for 6.
Yeah. And they're just going to wade through it again.
And that's pretty much like all of the neutral minions there, because Frost Giant ain't going to see any play.
No. I like the idea, but no.
So there's not that many game-breaking cards. Like I've got 6,700 dust. I've got 4,500 gold. So I mean, if I wanted to, I could open 30 packs if I really wanted to, and then just craft anything I still need, which would probably be a couple of legendaries or something like that. So I won't have to spend money. I think there's enough bad cards to just not care about.
I think this you kind of look at it and think, right, what's going to change the meta? What's going to stand out? And normally those kind of things are moderately costed cards, with a reasonable effect. And you're thinking, there's some nice legends, some nice cards at the top end, but most of those are so slow that
I don't see anything breaking the Patron Warrior.
No, it's just another big guy in a big guy deck, right?
Patron Warrior is going to go, oh, that's nice. You still can't stop my combo. So
that's it. I'm still going to kill you in one turn, fairly sharpish. No amount of using hero power between turns, 4 and 8.
You never get a turn when it matters.
Yeah.
So Patron Warrior is still the deck to beat in that respect. However, for Arena, it looks tons of fun. I mean, obviously, a lot of those cards are going to be watered down, and people are going to be drawing Flame Strikes even less.
Yeah.
But people are also going to be drawing the new cards not that often. So it kind of feels like the Inspire things will stick around because there's even less silences now.
Mm-hmm.
So all you have to do, I think, if you get a Kodo Rider and protect it, that's it. You just 3/5, 3/5, 3, and that just ends your game in Arena. Nice playing with you.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a Flame Strike. Because
I think it's just going to favour slight control play again as it goes. I'll just keep on trading off until I'm left with an Inspire guy at the end.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you're going to make 6 mana for a 6/6. You're going to put a couple of secrets into play out of your Paladin deck. and one of them's going to be Avenge, and that Avenge is just going to wreck your opponent.
Yeah.
It's like, I've got to kill something, but then he gets +3/+2. It's like, yep.
It's like you said there, if it dilutes the decks enough that, those few cards that decks have that say kill that minion, and there's only a handful of them for most classes.
That's why I like
If
the
you
Mage.
don't have it, yeah.
That's why I like the additional polymorph. I mean, you're just going to be picking Mage more and more because of it, because it's like, a lot of people, right? I mean, most of you know this. I prefer polymorph to Fireball, because when your opponent makes a bomb, which is when you get to 6 wins onwards, they got them legendaries.
Yeah.
They got them orange cards, and you're gonna have that Fireball, and he's gonna go, put your faith in the light, and you're gonna go, do I really want to give that and give him a 5/3 weapon? You're gonna be like, no. But then when you go polymorph, you're like, screw you, buddy. You're a sheep, just like everyone else. So I really like polymorph. So the boar, I'm gonna you got a 5/6 with a bubble, and you get a weapon when it dies. Yeah, you can be a boar instead of a sheep. That's absolutely fine with me. That is an acceptable alternative.
Yeah.
And I might even ignore you and then go to your face and let you have your 4/2 boar.
In the space of, again, these inspires that if they stick on the board for a turn, in that phase of the game, you're going, okay, well, got to deal with you this turn. It just seems a shame in terms of the variety, because like we discussed there are a lot of interesting cards that will make it, instead of it being, I'll dump my minion and ping for one, well, actually now we've got other interactions to think about.
I'm going to start making some Murlocs.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I mean, the way I play Arena, you control the board, yeah? So, you're just constantly killing your opponent's guys, and then all of a sudden, you're like, yeah, I got a guy on the board already. Make this guy make a Murloc, you'll go. He makes some stuff. Your guy beats up his guy. Your Murloc possibly beats up the other guy he makes. Make another Murloc. Oh, plus make another guy, because I've got all this mana as well on the side.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that just ends the game, because you're making a guy for free, well, for 2 mana. You're making a 1/1 Silverhand Recruit on the side. And then you get, like, 5 mana to play your other stuff out. And it's like, that ends the game so fast.
Yeah.
Some of those Inspire cards in Arena.
What's it? We said the cards on the board, it doesn't matter how many you've got in your hand, if you haven't got the mana to play them or anything on the board to interact with. So once you control the board, even if the guy's got 8 cards, you've only got 2. Well, Inspired now suddenly mean, actually, you know what? Now I can just start filling my hero power and get so much more benefit. But additionally, where we always feared before with Mage being so popular, again, can't dump my hand, because Flame Strike's always going to be there. Well, now it's like, well, Flame Strike might not be there in this current expansion, but in the next one, it may be, well, okay.
The most they're going to have is 1 Flame Strike now, because of the amount of commons they could pick a pool from. And so they got 30 cards in the deck, so even if they got that 1 Flame Strike, it still could be in the bottom of half of the deck that they're never going to draw.
Yeah.
So it's just a case of, if you got it, you got it a lot of time. If you can't afford to play around it, you just got to dump everything. You don't try to play around it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you go, I've got enough. I'll hold back because I've got enough, like, after he flame strikes, to dump the rest of my hand out to stay in the game.
But I think now it's almost a safe bet, isn't it? Whereas before, you were and ahhing, and almost now we edge towards, what the likelihood is he hasn't got one, unless you're a significant number of wins.
And you got to try to win in order to to stop them from drawing that flame strike. It's like, can I kill him before he draws his flame strike?
Yeah.
Or his blizzard, but that's a rare. So I think it's going to be a lot more fun in Arena. It's going to be very interesting. Now, I think they've actually done a quite deliberate balancing in Arena. A lot of people wouldn't have actually noticed it. Because one of the things about Arena is you have to have the correct balance of good and bad cards, yeah? So if they released a new set and made every card powerful, then all of a sudden everyone's Arena decks get a lot more powerful. So I think there's still the ratio of strong cards to normal schmoes, like the 2 mana 3/2s, to weak source guys that are never going to see play.
Yeah. It's that classic thing again, isn't it? Most players can play Flame Strike quite well, irrespective of how bad they are. But the truly good players are getting every millimeter of value out of the truly bad guy.
Yeah, the guy who really overcommits into a flame strike, or the guy who, in the case of the good player, who doesn't immediately flame strike at the first opportunity. He's just like, I'll carry on trading off. I'll just wait for a better position. Yeah. He might well decide I don't have a flame strike. He might decide that if I had a flame strike, I would have played it last turn. Therefore, he'll dump his load.
Yeah.
And then you'll do the most devastating flame strike.
Or it's knowing you've got bad guys and thinking, right, well, I'll keep those in my hand early game, because even though they're bad, they still trade with other okay cards versus drawing my really crap card later. When it'll
be nice to see less flame strikes and less water elementals.
Yeah.
I'll be fine with that. But I think the aggro mage decks are going to be pretty cool with the boars as well. Just more things with charge.
Yeah.
Like it's 4 more damage to the face.
It's like a nice thing, isn't it? It's kind of okay.
Turn my mirror image into a boar.
Exactly.
It's like, no, go away, please. Stop that. Yeah, I'll turn my my dragonling mechanic, make my little 2/1 into a 4/2 with charge. So I'm obviously fascinated about Arena, and I think it'll be a lot of fun, but I don't think much will change. I think the control warrior decks will get even more control-y.
They just have more cards that do the same things. That's the thing. For me, always with control warrior, the problem is invariably is trying to find more room to fit stuff in.
Well, they're just going to get greedier and greedier. Which I think will then benefit enormously the aggro decks. So your deck will basically go balls to it and try and hit them for 30. If you're going to play control, you're going to play control warrior, because nothing else comes close to that with variant.
Yeah.
And everything else will fall to the wayside to patron warrior. Because control warrior can beat patron warrior. It's like armor,
yeah.
armor, sludge belchers, and it can just have enough in the way to stop patron warrior killing them some of the time. And then everyone else who tries to do other control decks to beat patron warrior will just die to control warrior.
Yeah.
Be like, that's nice, dear.
Yes, run you out of everything. Thank you very much. Time to go home.
Anyway, guys, interested to see what you all think about it. So I think there'll be some new decks, and I think there'll be a lot of fun to be had at sort of the lower ranks with like fun decks, themed decks and stuff like that in Constructed.
On another note then, assuming you don't actually get it first, what's going to be the first card that you're going to craft with your dusts?
If I had to craft a card, let's restrict it to neutral minions.
Okay.
Because obviously, if I'd probably go with variant if I wanted to.
Yeah, I agree.
So. I could see myself getting a couple of crowd favourites. Or a Gormok the Impaler if I wanted to play aggro. But I think obviously, I've picked the one I'm going for. So I'll let Craig say the same card.
Yeah, I think it's just a car, isn't it, at the end of the day, isn't it?
There you go. That's the one I picked out. Just a car, True Heart. Why? Because it goes into every deck.
Yeah, we all want to play with it.
So it feels like you're gonna pick it. You're gonna stick it in your deck. And like Warrior's gonna go, huh? 4 armor a turn, you say? I'll be having some of that. Plus, it's traded card for card as well.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Control Warrior is it just trades for card. It doesn't care what the mana of the card is. It just goes, my card is going to trade with your card, and you run out of cards, and I'm at 50 life.
Yeah.
When we both traded card for card until they've all gone. You know, so it just has to be just a card, really. I think it's got to be everyone's first pick. And then you're gonna maybe, like, if you're doing Control, you're gonna pick up some Master Jousters. If you're doing aggro, you're gonna pick up a Gormok the Impaler, and like, you know, maybe. I mean, because the thing is, for Arena, it's like that's one card we didn't mention for Arena, which was Cavaldir Raider.
Yeah.
You know, 5 mana for a 4/4 and gained +2/+2. So it's the equivalent of the Warlock card.
Yeah.
But for every class. So that gets ridiculous. Because that Warlock card, when it goes unchecked for a turn, and then all you hear is, yes! Like, oh god, it's 8/8. It's 10/10. It's like, that ends the game. And just drops the elbow from the top turnbuckle on turn 3 and hits you in the face for 10.
That's it. And your prayer is, were they low enough that I can keep hitting them? No, right, okay, I'm dead.
Yeah. So, I think Cavaldir Raider might very well end some games quickly. Because it might be you go Cavaldir Raider, and then next turn, 2-drop, I get to inspire twice this turn. Oh, look, I've got an 8/8.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? It's those multiple inspires now. It's that just goes, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can handle it once.
You know, he just goes to the gym and gets swole. Like, really quick. That's like gym rat talk for swollen. You swole, bro? Lifting the old weights. That's one thing I don't do, lift weights. There ain't no meat on this bone. This is pure 100% bone, this arm.
Wiry, that's what it is, wiry.
It's pale as well. It's like I am the atypical white boy.
Well, we don't need to worry about leg day, do we, at least?
There's nothing to carry.
Exactly. The physique's
the
balanced.
stomach.
Skinny all over.
Yeah, I am a skinny guy in a fat guy's body at the moment, you know. But like, there could very well be an aggro deck with like armored war horses and stuff like that, where you're just praying to get lucky.
And
like,
that's the thing
please
is,
have charge.
Can anyone design a deck that kills by turn 5 regularly? Okay, no, you're not managing to drop any significant taunts on. You're dead. I don't think there is out
I think
there.
you might see some light champions getting played.
Yeah.
Some demon silencing. I mean, you know, so long as it shuts up the big guy.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, imagine if it's literally silence any demon. And let me just go into it here. And your opponent taps 9 mana, makes Lord Jaraxxus, and starts doing his taunts. Like, Jaraxxus is sorry, and just like, silence a demon. No more taunts. That would be amazing.
You just want to see facial expressions, wouldn't you? How dare!
You know, no more shouting oblivion. It's like, you've been silenced. But the thing is, you might play it in the same deck with your other Warlock cards, because of course you'll have the new like 4 mana for a 1/1 that you'll want to play with your Anima Golem.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this card says silence a demon. I'll silence my own Anima Golem and have a 9/9 for 6 mana. With no downside.
So what's the animal? Is it the animal golem and demon? No
sorry, it's a mech. Apologies, ignore me. It's just Warlock only, so you assume it's a demon, right? When it's you're like, yeah, demon, and random mech in there. I'm just looking through all the cards and like Doomguard.
I mean, there must be a fairly large
Doomguard, Flaming Watcher, Dread Infernal, Lord Jaraxxus. Yeah, they're all demons. Yeah, Pit Lord, Void Caller, like, demon, Implosion makes demons, Demon Heart, summons demons, Bane of Doom, summons demons. And then there's a random fell cannon and an anima golem stuck in there. So ignore my babblings.
Fair enough.
And then you're like, oh yeah, fell guard, Imgang boss, void terror. Yeah, they're all demons as well. It's like demons just sort of hire mechs for a bit of muscle on the side. Because like mechs don't really have any morals. Just like, I'm a mech, I don't care. Whatever.
Do you mind sacrificing small children being eaten? Yes, it can't be hard.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everything else is just a demon. So. But, yeah, it's like 4 mana for a 1/1. Now you can play the Sacrificial Pact. Because you can be like, life tap. Oh, I've just drawn Sacrificial Pact. I'll instantly gain 3 life. Tap for 2, gain 5 life, and my 1/1 comes back instantly.
There's certainly plenty of interactions, even if it's just cool master.
Yeah, and the power overwhelmings, and you've got the mortal coils to get through your deck faster as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So it might be like a turbo warlock deck for just getting to certain cards really fast.
But yeah, Bane of Doom, your little guy, and it comes back.
Yeah, Bane of Doom, my own guy, get another demon. Not that Bane of Doom's ever going to be playable.
No.
But it's funny. It's like, yeah, I can Shadow Flame for 1 at will. You never know. There might be times you want to do that. Who knows? You can Demon Heart it, make it a 6/6.
Yeah, like, at least you play your deck with Sense Demons as well. I think if you're trying to pull a combo where you're trying to ensure you get there, I guess at least you can get Sense Demons. There we go. There you go. Twisting Nether. Look, I've got my 1/1 back.
Yeah, there you go. Apply beats.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, this has gone on as always a bit longer than it should have. We've been going for an hour, literally an hour. Well, an hour and 2 minutes because it's 1 minute past 1.
That's a nice overall time,
we
isn't it?
stopped at 11:59, so yeah, that seems good. Well, there was like a 2-minute interlude for thunder and lightning outside, so you could say it's a 1 hour on a video. But I'm just going to be playing more Arena.
Seems like a solid choice. And certainly early on, it's quite nice here while people try and find the feet, there are wins to be had.
Yep, I think it'll bring a lot of people back as well, because the reason I like Arena and the reason you like Arena is you get to play with all the cards.
Yeah.
People do stuff and you go, oh, I never get to see that card in Constructed because it's terrible. But you get to play against them in Arena where they actually can be pretty devastating.
That's it. And all those bad combinations that you think they're just not worth the time and effort are fun in Arena when you pull them off. And you go, yes, I managed to get Voltron out. Yeah, and kill you with it. You were dead anyway, but I killed you with it.
Like you get a Sneed's Old Shredder, and then out of Sneed's Old Shredder pops Sneed's Old Shredder, which you won't say in Constructed because no one plays Sneed's Old Shredder. But you might play Sneed's Old Shredder in with your Varian. It's like, yeah, free Sneed's Old Shredder, and out of Sneed's Old Shredder pops another Varian. It's like, I've got 2 Varians. Yeah. And then they both fight for the throne and kill each other.
I guess I'm the true king.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like 2 legends see each other, they're like, I'm the real one. What are you talking about? And there should be like a little side game then suddenly starts where the 2 of them have a fight. Fight to the death.
That's it. A little brawl in the middle, isn't it? Scrapping away.
Yeah, but, then, that said, maybe some of them just get along and just high-five each other and go, yep, we have a common purpose, which is evil. Now we have 2 times the evil.
Yes, the Legion will return again.
I quite like the idea of like having Lord Jaraxxus as your hero, and then Lord Jaraxxus popping out of a Sneed's Old Shredder, and he's in charge of himself. Me, do my work. Go beat up that guy.
And you think that's it? If I could just still use all the hero abilities on the card in play as well. Go,
That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Yeah, he has his own little weapon.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys,
yes,
feel free to argue with anything we've said, and feel free to point out obvious stuff we've dodged, because I've literally, quite literally, mate, looked at it for about an hour and a half before I did this video.
Yeah, I think this is it. The fun is to be had in playing them in arena for the first time. We can analyze it, but
Yep.
that's for me. It's picking them up
Yep.
and finding out for yourself.
Yep, and to everyone else, carry on learning Patron Warrior, and do it to such a degree that people just keep on complaining on the forums until the point of it getting nerfed.
Yes, when Blizzard drown in the tears of Patron Warrior victims.
And as my last one, for the comment to leave in the box below, what would you do to fix Patron Warrior? What would be the fix you would do? Me and Craig came with the solution of saying that when a minion, you'd have additional text that says, if you have a minion that has power greater than 3, it loses charge. So, you know, if you've got a minion with less than 3 power, it gains charge. So all of a sudden, you know, there'll be no more make a guy, deal 1 damage to everything, guy becomes massively huge and has charge. So, you know, I think the Warsong commanders fixing that would fix everything. Because that's the problem, isn't it, Craig? The charge.
Blizzard has said this is the point is they don't want one-turn kills. We had them previously, didn't we? And they fixed it.
Yeah, they had the 1-turn kill with Warrior, which was like Alex Straza.
Yeah.
And then you've got like you'd make your 7-1 weapon. You'd Alex Straza them from 30 to 15, and then you'd hit him with the 7-1 and an 8 power guy with charge. And be like, yep.
So they fixed it first time round. Now people have discovered another one. Absolutely fine. You know, players are inventive. Blizzard just need to go again. 1-turn kills aren't fun. Yeah, they can happen, but that's not the game they want to play. If they've already shown in the past that that's not what they want, then they just need to fix it again. Problem solved.
Yeah, I mean, control decks are not viable while you can do 1-turn kills.
Yeah.
Well, the only control deck that viable is Warrior, because it's the only one that can gain more than 30 life. It's like, yeah, you can kill me from 30, you can kill me from 40. With a perfect hand, you can kill me from 50. But potentially, I can get damn close to 50, and then put a couple of sludge belches out to really kind of dampen your day. Plus, you're not going to get a perfect hand all the time. Right. Craig, so what's going on with yourself then? How have you been doing in the arena?
I've been meddling in terms of overall fun. Paladin seems to be nudging there. I'm above Mage now in terms of how I've seen things. It was dominated by Mage until very recently. You could almost guarantee, you know, if you're playing 12 matches to win, you guarantee probably 10 of those were Mage. The first 2, yeah. You're like, okay.
I've had a few arena runs like that. People know. We've only seen those 7 Mages in a row games. So.
And now I can say
more
it's
on US servers, by the way.
Fair enough.
So, they love their Mage.
It's almost 50-50 now between Mage and Paladin, and then the odd squeak. I was talking before saying, if you get into 7 or 8 wins and you see, you know, a Rogue or a Hunter, I get worried because I'm thinking, you've beaten both, you know, Mage and Paladin consistently. You've got to have something.
Especially if it's Rogue.
Yeah.
You know there's 2 saps in their deck and just guys.
You know that there's weapons and barbers and things, and they're pulling out silly levels of weaponry by turn 4. But in terms of fun, I've played Shaman, and I like how Shaman plays in terms of fun, because I like having a deck that's aggressive but can deal with stuff. I hate the idea, there's a lot of time with Arena, you'll draft a deck and you think, you know what, I've got no answers. I am literally fingers crossed that either they haven't got a flame strike or they can't put down a 6/7 and, you know, and whatever else, because then it's just becoming who can hit face the hardest, and that's not fun.
Do you think anything's going to change with the new set? Do you see any significantly strong cards from any of the classes for Arena? It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like we said there, the problem is I still didn't see Mage as the class with regularly having all the solutions.
And the ball. Yeah, the ball.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's saying, whatever you've got, I've got a polymorph that will deal with whatever text is in your character's box. Whatever Inspire or whatever else is going on, I can deal with it. and what other classes. There are lots of interesting interactions, but Mage has got access to. We said we've even got the dragon there. Arguably one of the stronger, Inspire combinations there in Mage already.
Dara Drake.
Yeah, I think an excellent
Extra removal with Flame Lance.
Yeah. So
Polymorph Boar, Fallen Hero, which is really nice early game.
Yeah.
Ping something for 2, kill it.
Yeah. And some of what we consider to be arguably the weaker classes, for instance, Warlock and Warrior. I'm not seeing anything within the specific class cards that make me think, oh yeah, that bumps it up to dealing with the same level of things that Mage can. So in all honesty, not at the moment. I'm sure people will surprise us. But I think with the diluting, I don't think you can rely on getting any specific new card with any regularness to change how you play. So you're looking at what adds more of
what value.
Yeah.
So Chamois might improve a bit there with the Totem Golem.
Yeah, well, Chamois gets more, good costed cards.
Yeah, it's got an elemental destruction in Epic.
Yeah. So it's just got more. I can go to your face with cheaper minions than you can.
Charged Hammer and Tusker Totemic, which you might see. Drain A Totem Carver, which is usually going to be like a 6/6 for 4.
Yeah.
Thunder Bluff Valiant, which you're also going to play. All of a sudden your totems all wake up. So Chamois, I think's gained a fair few playable cards out of it all.
Yeah, I mean, again, Paladin just gets more, more synchronicity and more working well together than it already has.
And a few of those are in the neutral minions as well.
Yeah. So it's always been for a lot of time, Paladin, it's always been, I'll make a 1/1, and you get value out of that just because there's nothing else there, and it's another threat on the board. Well, now it's like, it's another threat on the board, plus another effect through Inspire going on the side. So actually, it just gets more and more value out of already, one of the strongest hero powers.
And there's a significant number of like 4/3s for 3 now as well.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And there's stuff like Master of Ceremonies, which start to get ridiculous as well. Like 3 mana for a 6/4 potentially, if you got something with spell damage.
Yeah,
But I like, stuff like Crowd Favourite. I think there's a lot of value in stuff like that. But what I think, particularly in Arena, which will gain in value, is minions with stealth. Because there's going to be so many times when you want to set something up for the following turn. So you got your Blessing of the Kings. Or they've got their ridiculous guy with Inspire that you just absolutely have to kill.
Yeah.
And you go, I'm going to make this guy with stealth, and he will kill that guy the following turn. Because you make anything else, they go, kill it, Inspire again, make another copy of this.
Yeah, well, it's always been the way of playing, isn't it? Play the control style, which is keep the board clear, make sure you're the guy with the minion on the board, and you are,
And stealth prevents them from doing that.
Yeah.
Because it's really good against mages when you have something untargetable as well. It's like 5 mana, make a 4/6 untargetable, and they're like, ain't fireball in that, and then all of a sudden you're beating them up.
And that's the thing again a lot of time when you're making the decision, like you're playing creature, say turn 3 or turn 4, and you're always like, I can use my hero power to kill their guy, but then I haven't got enough mana left to put another guy on the board. Well, now suddenly there's less of a disadvantage with the hero power if the guy on the board they've got is Inspire already, going like hero power, kill your guy, gain another advantage, and I'm gaining more on the board presence or threats than previously I would have done.
So it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, Arena, and it'll be interesting to see what card we overlook as well. Because there's going to be a card that you're not sure is great, and then someone's going to beat the tar out of you with it, and you're going to be like, yeah, actually, it was a lot better than I thought it was. Yeah,
it's like I said, it's those little combinations. Again, I'm certainly finding that's the thing with Arena at the moment. It's not that any particular card is massively strong. We said before, it's like, before we went, Mechs and Dragons, okay. And now we're like, nothing beats turn 2, shield guy. And gone.
I'm going to point out, just on the side, I think control players might play Refreshment Vendor. Because if you make anything with taunts at turn 4, it just gets silenced. And so you're just going to gain the 4 health instead. You don't care about them gaining health, it's completely irrelevant, they're still at 30. But you might just be looking at gaining as much health as possible. So you want to put a guy on the board and gain some health at the same time. So I actually think we might see some Refreshment Vendor from from slow control decks.
The health is quite nice in terms of there's not a lot that can deal 5 damage from 4 mana.
Control players don't care about their opponent's health.
No. so that I'm more likely not than double trade with most stuff. But yeah, no, it's like at the moment we said it's in terms of arena, it's more about the combinations you get. It's
Yeah.
did you get the dragons,
You've got
working
stuff like
together.
Clockwork Knight in the commons as well. 5 for a 5/5. Give a friendly mech +1. It can be a game breaker, that one. But I think like the Cavaldeer Raider, is going to get ridiculous if left unchecked.
Yeah,
Well, it's 7 mana for a 6/6, right? If you want to play it on turn 7. If you've got nothing else, if there's nothing on the board at all, you play it turn 5 as 4/4. And your opponent goes, can't deal with it. And you go, oh no, it's a 6/6. Plus I've got
it
an
is.
additional 4/4 on the side.
It's just that fact that it's gaining health, so the fact that it can hit something and in effect heal
Heal for
somewhat.
2
Yeah,
and gain 2
and keep
power.
healing too. So it's like I'll kill your guy, heal back up. Whereas most of them, where it's attack, great, your attack's going up. I will eventually kill your guy with something. Whereas this potentially says, you know what, I can just keep going.
Yeah, and you take 3 things out and that's it, game over. Anyway guys, no, it really is the end of the video now. But I'm going to try some more chamois. I want some totems. And I want cards that do 4 damage to everything.
Yes, clear the board. Your side, their side, everything.
But, feel free to point out what we've missed out and all the stupid, obvious things we've missed. And if every rare's a Master Jouster, I'm not going to be sad either. But, yeah. Anyway, until next time from myself and from Craig. Ta-ta.
Good night.